Avni, I think you can start.
You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you'll find strength, as said by Marcus Aurelius. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Pavni Jaiswal of second semester BSc Interior Design, would like to welcome our today's guest, Sri Suvarna Gaura Haridas Ji, also known as S.C. Haridas, who has graced and enlightened us all by his presence once before on the topic Managing the Raging Mind. We once again welcome you, sir, wholeheartedly for yet another momentously valuable session. I welcome all the eminent personalities present here, our director, Major Dr. Rekha Sinha ma'am, who never fails to provide us with such precious mind awakening sessions, all the staff and students with whose presence such sessions heart of self-management, where we'll be learning about self-management by various proven techniques.
Santoshi Rishita, please mute yourself.
Shall I continue?
Admin staff, please take care of this. Continue.
Our today's guest lecture is on art of self-management, where we'll be learning about self-management by various proven techniques and practical activities to regulate one's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors effectively in different situations. S.C. Haridasji has completed his BE in Electronics and Communications from RV College of Engineering, Bangalore. Worked with IBM, ISL for over 4 years as Associate Software Engineer. S.C. Haridasji later started his spiritual journey as he was interested in reading and learning spiritual books. From young age, he has also studied Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and Srimad Bhagavad Purana systematically. And Sri S.C. Haridasji is living the life of a monk since last 10 years at ISKCON Ashram. Sriji is currently the director at ISKCON Youth Forum, South Bengaluru, and also a spiritual mentor at ISKCON South. S.C. Haridasji has given helpful seminars in various colleges like RVCE, NIT Trichy, NITK Surathkal, TICT Pune, BJ Medical Pune. S.G. Haridasji also visits schools and colleges in Bengaluru, Mysuru, Bangalore, Puttur, etc. for doing value-based educational programs on Bhagavad Gita. It's our pleasure to have you here, sir, and learn from you. I once again welcome
you. Thank you so much, Pavni Jaiswal, for welcoming me to this event. And my special thanks to Rekha Sinha ji for inviting me here for the second time. Previously, last month, we had done a program on managing the raging mind. I guess it was for a different set of audience. And today we have a different set of audience, students, teachers, and staff from the School of Humanities and Social Science and the School of Performing Arts and also Economics. I'm happy to be here with all of you today to share some wisdom on the topic of art of self-management. So the next 1 hour, I'll be sharing a PowerPoint presentation and whatever I have learned and experienced about this topic. And later, if you have any inquiries, questions, we can have some discussion at the end. I'll start with a short prayer to my Guru and Krishna. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Mukam Kurti Vachalam Pangam Lankai Yatripatam Vande Shri Guru Dinakaran. So we welcome you all for this session on art of self-management. So this is a very important topic for everyone's life, especially because those who are going to be leaders in the society, especially they need to learn this art. And today's youth are tomorrow's leaders. And the youth power, it is said that the about majority of Indian population is youth. And this youth, if properly empowered with this wisdom of knowledge, what we are going to discuss about art of self-management and other value systems, then India can become a real superpower in time to come, because youth has a lot of energy. But at the same time, youth also has got a lot of distractions. Youth also has got a lot of choices, opportunities. So at every moment, we have choices. What to do this or to do that, to choose between right and wrong, to choose between pleasure and principle. Right? Sometimes the youth generally runs behind pleasures, immediate pleasures, rather than following the life of principle. But it is found out that those youths who live a life of principle, based on principle, they become really successful in the future, because the foundation is principles, not pleasure. The following of principles leads to internal satisfaction and happiness. So the principles have to be very, very strong. So we call it principles, or we call it values. So the values are based on the laws of God. And by following those value systems and the principles, one can become a ray of hope for the people of this world. So today we are trying to learn one principle, which is self-management. I'm going to share a PPT now. Okay. So I hope you are able to see this self-management.
Yes.
PowerPoint presentation. This I have taken from my spiritual teacher, Radhesham Das, from whom I have learned many of the techniques and the wisdom. So today we will be learning certain points. What is self-management? Self-management situations in everyday life. Self-management in Bhagavad Gita. From self-control to self-management, and some practical solutions to self-management, or practical tips to self-management. So we'll like to learn these points today. So what is self-management? Why is it so important? Self-management is a competence to shape one's personal development and professional development independently of external influences. See, in our life, we get many external situations or influences in our life. Some situations are disturbing, some situations are favorable. But no matter whatever situation comes in my life, I will go ahead in my life. I'll go on improving my personal life as well as my professional life. Right? So all of you also have a personal life, which is your family, your habits, your hobbies. So that's your personal thing. And there is also your professional life, your college or your workplace, your career, money, and all those things. That is professional development. And for both of these things, there are some challenges or external influences which come. So going on with this development without getting disturbed, that's the aspect of self-management. So you are in charge of your own destiny. This means it's up to you to find your place in the world and know when to change. Okay. So it's not a very static thing, but it's a very dynamic thing. Like a river, it flows from, like take for example, Ganga River. Ganga River starts from Himalayas and comes to the ocean. And in between, there are many, many obstacles which come. And Ganga expertly navigates through all those obstacles and reaches her destination. Right? Sometimes there are big mountains in between. Sometimes there are big boulders in between. But still, she flows towards Ganga. Similarly, our life also is like flowing river, and there are many obstacles which may come in between. But a person who has learned the art of how to manage himself, he will know how to change the course of action, how to mold himself and not be so rigid. Okay. And mold himself in such a way, become malleable in such a way that he can reach the destination. The goal is to reach the destination, right? Like all of you, your goal is to become successful in life. And to become successful, we need to learn the art of self-management by which we can reach that goal or destination. Right. Next point will make it more clear. See here, what is management? When you split the word management, man plus age plus men plus T. This is called management. Manage the man within you before managing men. See, man is singular, men is plural. Of course, you can change it to woman and woman. So it is applicable to both the genders. So manage yourself before managing others. Right? So generally in a corporate company or even in institute, there is a leader, or there's in college scenario, there'll be like director, there'll be HODs, there'll be teachers, and then there are students. So each one has got a certain kind of influence on others. To the degree a person has managed his own life properly, to that degree he'll be able to influence others' life. So that's called management. And in between there is age. What is age? Gain age or maturity to know what, when, and how to manage. That's important. So expert manager is one who has learned through experiences in life, who has experienced, and through the experiences he has gained the maturity of what to do, how to do, when to do. Like for example, if somebody commits a mistake, in institute somebody commits a mistake, so then how to correct him, when to correct, and what punishment to award to him, it requires some maturity. Otherwise, one may take snap decisions. One may correct publicly a person, and then the person may get disturbed and he may start telling bad about the institute or the company, and he may go around spoiling the name. But if it is dealt in a very mature way by which he understands, yes, I made a mistake, then I need to correct myself, and the person who is correcting me is telling for my good, and it's done with compassion, it's done with, and also it's reasonable. So then what will happen? The person will also be happy, and the whole environment is also not spoiled. So that requires maturity. So, like I went to one of the colleges, and one student had done a mistake. I went to meet the principal of the college. At that time, one student also came inside, and the student had made a blunder in the college. So the teacher had sent him home, and then he came with his elder brother. And the teacher said, no, this person made a mistake in the classroom, which he was not supposed to do. Basically, he did a substance abuse. He had brought some substance which was not supposed to be brought into the college. So then she dealt it in such a way that personally she called and personally she corrected, which was it not made public. And the student understood the lesson also. At the same time, his image in the college was also not spoiled. So it requires a maturity to know how to manage the students. And even students also should learn through maturity what to do, how to behave with the superiors or the elders or the teachers, isn't it? So I really appreciated the way that principal dealt with the student. So that is maturity. So because she was a well-managed person, it's because she had managed herself nicely, and she did not become very angry publicly, and she was mature enough. So then she was able to keep so many students also very happy. So Now, this is a photo of NCC. I put it because in my school days, I was also part of this NCC. And one of the lessons I learned from that was whenever I started this morning parade, my superior used to say that you should be on time. Attendance on time. And if you're 1 minute late, then you have to take the gun and go around the field 10 times. That was the punishment which was given. So my sergeant was very strict. So I was wondering why they are so strict. And he used to check, boot should be properly polished, the belt should be properly polished, the clothes should be ironed. And in fact, they'll pay also. You should do it nicely. They give money also for that. I was wondering why they're doing so much and they're expecting discipline. So later I understood that when actual crisis comes at the time of war, you cannot say my boot is not ready or I have not cleaned my or serviced my rifle. No, you should be ready because war can happen any moment. So the more you sweat in peace, less you bleed in war. So this was a statement which was told to us. More you sweat in peace. Like now there is no war, there's no anxiety or there's no difficulties. But if you prepare yourself nicely now, in the future when that crisis comes, you'll not be disturbed. You'll be able to handle it, isn't it? So, and then even when I went to camps, in the NCC camps, they used to tell us you should keep your tent clean. You should keep everything very organized. Each thing should be at the right place. When you get up, what you should do. Before sleeping, what you should do. So everything was very nicely defined. So that discipline helps us to become more organized in our own lives. So at the time of crisis, our performance will be best, the peak performance, right? So that's helping me in my ashram life, because our life in the ashram is also very disciplined. We sleep on time, we get up on time, and we do things at particular time. So that increases our efficiency. So that is self-management. So of course, there are many other aspects. Self-management also means balancing various aspects of your life, work-life balance and regulation in habits also. So there are 4 aspects to our life. One is physical, next is intellectual, then social, emotional, and spiritual quotient. When all these 4 things are in balance, we'll be happy and our performance will be the best. What is physical quotient? Physical quotient means our health. That's the most important thing. Our health and which is attained by exercise and good diet, right? So that is physical quotient. And if you're physically healthy, then our mind also functions properly and we can think clearly. So that's the intellectual quotient. So intellectual quotient is about your college studies, is about your work, career, so all those things. That is intellectual quotient. And then emotional and social quotient. That's about how you deal with your friends, how you deal with your parents, relatives. So that is social quotient. So that makes you feel more secure because you have good friends with you. That is social and emotional quotient. And above that comes a spiritual quotient, which is the most important thing, which we'll be discussing more at the end of this session. So spiritual quotient is to understand who am I? What is the purpose of life? What is the goal of life? What is the purpose of creation? How to attain real happiness? So that is spiritual quotient. And when all these 4 things are in balance, then we'll be able to perform well. Now, you're in student life right now. You may not have more responsibilities. Right? You don't have to work hard to earn money right now. You just have to study. Parents are giving fees and you have to just focus in your studies and learn more skills and arts. And then in the future, you can make your own career. Not much responsibilities are there. But as you go ahead in your life, responsibilities keep adding up. For example, marriage. Once marriage happens, then it's a responsible commitment, right? And raising children. And you parallelly keep rising in your corporate ladder. Then you get promoted to the senior post, you become manager, senior manager, or even CEO or something like that. So your responsibilities keep adding up. To the degree you're balanced in your own personal life, you'll be able to hold everything nicely. Otherwise, it's impossible. Let me show you a video. A very interesting video. A short video, just 40 seconds. You just see how this person is able to balance. He is going on adding more and more bricks on his head. He doesn't leave that also. He takes one more brick. Two more.
No way.
Wasn't that interesting? How do you think you could carry? Can any one of you carry such thing? Such a tall, it's almost like his height only. So much height he is carrying, so many bricks he is carrying. How is it possible? Right? How was he able to do it?
Concentration.
Yes, concentration. Okay. Yes, he was concentrating. He was and basically he was balanced. He did not shake. He knew how to keep his head, neck, and body straight so that it will not shake. If it shakes, then it will fall on him only. He will only die. Right? Somebody is saying in the chat box, Cable from BSc is telling self-confidence. He was confident. He was confident, correct? Rekha Sinha is telling focused. He was focused. Yeah, he was not looking here and there at other boards and other people. No, he was focused. So that's his role to carry. So similarly in our life also, we keep adding more responsibilities. Now we are student, and right now the students will be just having one duty. But later on, so many duties keep adding on. And really at the middle age of your life, you'll become responsible for many things. So at that time, if you are balanced in your life, you'll be able to do everything successfully, right? See, everybody has 24 hours only. You have 24 hours, I have 24 hours, even the Prime Minister has 24 hours. But the quantity of work which we do and which Prime Minister does, it is a vast difference. Why? So because to that extent he is self-controlled, self-managed, he'll be able to manage entire nation also, isn't it? Okay, let's go ahead in the PowerPoint. So self-management also involves these skills, the goal setting skills. Right. So what is goal setting? Goal setting means there are two kinds of goals, short-term goals and long-term goals. Short-term goals means prayas. Long-term goals means shreyas. In Sanskrit, the word prayas and shreyas is used. Short-term goal is, okay, I want to pass this examination. I want to complete this degree. That is short-term goal. And long-term goal, okay, I want to be successful in life. I have to do some service to the society. When I die, people should remember me, thinking that, oh, he was a very good man. He helped so many people. That is like long-term goal in life. Long-term goal is, short-term goal may be money, but long-term goal is service. Just for example, again. And the ultimate long-term goal is to also realize who am I, what is the goal of life, what is the purpose of life, which is given in Bhagavad Gita. So that is goal setting. Time management skills. Like everybody has 24 hours, but some people are able to do a lot of work and a lot of impact in this world in those 24 hours. And some people are able to do only less, right? Why? Because it depends upon how we are utilizing our time. Sometimes time gets wasted in unnecessary activities. Like sometimes people sit in front of the mobile, browsing social media, and they don't even realize the time. 2 hours, 4 hours is gone, right? So that's poor time management. Expert time management means what? He knows what tasks to do and when to do. So that is time management skill. Learning agility. Learning agility means the willingness to learn more and more. See, even in corporate companies, they have a concept called as trainings. There is training sessions, self-development sessions. So it is said that when you keep using certain skills, you should also learn new skills. That's called learning agility. You have to keep yourself updated with the latest things. That's called learning agility. If you don't get updated, then you'll be left behind, right? So you should keep learning, reading more and more. For example, if somebody is a teacher, one way of teaching is she can just every year whatever she is teaching or he is teaching, he can keep teaching. But best teacher is one who learns new things and teaches the same concept in a more effective way with more examples and more realizations. So that is learning agility. Communication skills, how we talk to each other, how we offer corrections, how we appreciate each other, how we listen to others' queries or others' grievances. That's communication skills. And those who are good communicators, those who are good listeners, they are the ones who can give best guidance or counseling, right? So communication skills. Sometimes we don't listen to others only. We just keep speaking and we fail to listen to what others have to say. And because we fail to listen others' points, we cannot give proper service to others. It's communication skills. Even empathy is also a communication skill. Empathy means to put ourselves in other situation and try to understand their situation. Then decision-making skills. Right? A decision which a leader makes can have big impact on the common society. Right? So if, like for example, one person declares a war, then the whole country gets impacted, isn't it? So one decision of a leader or important person has a lot of impact. So a person who is self-managed should be very thoughtful to make a right decision. For example, if a defense person is having a nuclear weapon in his hand and by mistake he presses a button, it explodes. My God, it is such a disaster, isn't it? So that person should be self-controlled so that he knows when to use it and how to use it. So and there are some real life situations in your everyday life when your self-management is tested. Like these are 5 scenarios given here. Like someone doesn't agree with your views and opposes or criticizes it. And for example, your friend says, no, okay, let's do this assignment this way, or let's do the project. Suppose you have project partner. One project partner says, let's do this way. And then you don't agree with it. Then what happens? The whole project is not accomplished because of conflict. But how can we deal with them? How can we deal with such conflicts? Yes, we'll see it later. Next slide, you'll see some real life scenarios. Second, someone did not keep his promise. If somebody said, no, I will, please give me your book. I will study it and give it back to you by this date. It really happened that in one of the colleges, one friend took a book from another friend for referring. And he's promised that tomorrow I'll give you because day after tomorrow is exam. But he didn't keep his promise. He didn't give the exam book. And that person was calling him, sending him messages, where are you? Please give me the book. And that person totally absconded. What is the intention? The intention was I should pass and he should fail. I should get better marks than him. So that is so he broke his promise. And cheating, somebody cheated you with respect to money, supply of goods, quality of goods. How you deal with this? Didn't bother about your convenience, needs, and problems. Right? Somebody didn't take care of you when you're sick. Somebody didn't ask you, did you take your food, or did you do you need something like that? So how do you deal with that situation? And then expectations unfulfilled. People around you, juniors or subordinates, don't behave or give results according to your expectation. And you expect a person to talk to you in a certain way. You expect him to deal with you in a certain way. But if it doesn't happen, naturally we become angry. Right? But no, a self-managed person will not become angry, but he will respond in a very, very positive way. So we'll see how. Especially in youth, no? This topic is very relevant because because of excessive competitive drive, which is there now. And then addiction also there. So, like drug addiction, even alcohol addiction. There's a lot of stress, fear of failures, because of wrong definition of success. They have a wrong definition of success, because of which there's a lot of stress and failures, fear of failures, and feeling of inferiority complex. Oh, he is so intelligent, I'm good for nothing. So people go into depression also. And sometimes this kind of depression can lead to suicides also. Right? Interpersonal ego clashes. Sometimes we see youths or even college students fighting with each other on the roads after the college hours. And uncontrolled desires like lust, so such things are there. So that's why we should learn how to react, okay, how to behave in provoking situations. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a quotation which says that the greatness of a person is tested by his ability to tolerate provoking situations. When a provoking situation comes, how you respond, that shows your greatness. If you respond positively, then you're a self-managed person. If you respond negatively or reactively, so then it is, then you're not self-realized person. Like for example, so there is a stimulus coming, and the person suddenly reacts and gives a response. Like somebody says some bad word to you, and if you also say bad words to him, so that is reactive response. Without thinking, he reacted. Second, so there is a stimulus coming, but here he is thinking, hey, this person is talking like this to me, he is talking bad words to me. Maybe he is disturbed. Otherwise, why is he talking like this? So maybe let me give him some time and later I will talk to him. So he doesn't get disturbed. So among these two people, who is self-managed? Above one or below one? A reactive person or a responsible person?
Responsible, sir.
Yeah, person who is responsible. He is self-managed. So there is a reactive response and there is a responsible or proactive response. Correct. So the down one is correct answer. So Chanakya Pandit gives a suggestion to all the students that if you want to become successful, you should avoid these 8 things. A leader who desires long enduring success must shun the following 8 activities. Lusting after women. Actually, it is a shloka where he says, Kamam, Krodham, Lobham cha, Shringara Swadu Kautuke, Atinidrati Sevecha, Vidyarthi Ashtam Varjayet. 8 things a Vidyarthi should give up. Vidyarthi means one who is wanting to gain knowledge, he should give up these 8 things. Lusting after man or woman, because that disturbs mind so much that you cannot focus on the studies. Losing control due to anger. If a student becomes angry, again he loses his focus. Unhealthy comparison. That's called lobha. Lobha is greed. So unhealthy comparison, and like suppose generally after college, placements come. In placement they start comparing. Isko itna package mila, isko itna package mila. Mujhe thoda hi mila hai. So that's unhealthy comparison. So don't compare. And greed. Greed means lobha. So give up greed for more and more wealth. So you receive wealth. Craving for gratifying the tongue. Swadhu. Swadhu means to have a long tongue. You see this person, he has such a long tongue, he is eating too much with his tongue. Right? Craving for tongues. Actually, if you want to study nicely, you have to control your tongue. Means eat optimum quantity at optimum times. Otherwise, we see the people going 10 kilometers driving and eating on samosa or some pani puri and from that long, whatever, far off place. Right? Because they have a long tongue. See, tongue is very small and it has no bones. But the small tongue can carry you 10 kilometers away to just eat one samosa or pani puri. So, and what happens by that? Time gets wasted. So, okay, Shringara, spending too much time in saloon, going to saloon, different hairstyle. Nowadays, people have crazy hairstyles. Here standing like this, here doing like this. No? So don't waste your time in that. Moving in fair for entertainment. Kautuka. Kautuka means going here and there for sightseeing. Right? Going to MG Road, Brigade Road, and just seeing what's happening there. That's Kautuka. So don't waste time. He says, Chanakya Pandit. And excessive sleeping and indulging in sports, TV, and such entertainment excessively. And some people watch 8 hours cricket sitting in front of the TV like this and keep eating potatoes and become fat, coach potato. So better than that is go and play for 1 hour. That is better because you'll get a better health. So too much sleep, too much playing is not good. So optimal is good. That's what Chanakya Pandit says. Atinidra ati seva. Vidyarthi ashtam varjayet. A Vidyarthi should give up this 8 things. So proactive people respond very thoughtfully. Like I spoke this 8 points of Chanakya, they're very proactive. So he knows, okay, don't do this. So he will think before acting. He'll think before doing those things. Reactive people, just do it. That is their formula. Okay, I saw something nice eatable, just eat it. Don't think whether it's good for health or not good for health. That is reactive. Right? So nowadays, the time of fast food. Fast food is fast to cook, then fast to eat, but slow to digest. Right? And it harms the body. So reactive people, they just, oh, I'll eat it, no problem. But proactive person, he'll think, oh, it's good for health or no? No, it's not good for health, so I'll not eat. So like that. So proactive people focus their efforts in the circle of influence, work on things they can do something about. And reactive people focus their efforts in the circle of concern, focus on weakness of other people, the problems in their environment and circumstances over which they have no control. See here, there is circle of concern, circle of influence. This is a very important management lesson which we generally learn. Circle of influence means what things you can change. And circle of concern is what things you are worried about, but you have no influence over it. You cannot change anything there. Right? So these are 2 different circles. So proactive people, they focus on circle of influence and they try to expand the circle of influence. Okay. Positive energy enlarges circle of influence. He works on himself and then he starts expanding his influence. That's proactive. And reactive person, he starts worrying about so many other things and he stops self-development. What happens? His circle of influence shrinks, becoming more and more small. Okay, he reduces his influence on others. Right? For example, what are the circle of influence? What can I change? Some things are written here. Your attitude. Can I change my attitude? Yes, I can change. If I want to, I can change. I can change my behavior. I can choose what I can buy, what you watch on TV, what you read, who you surround yourself with. I can choose my friends. And what you post on social media, you can choose. That is your influence. You can do these things. What things you can do, that is circle of influence. And there are some things which you cannot change, where you don't have any influence. For example, social media feeds. What you see in social media, what is coming into your feed, you cannot have any influence on that. The news, okay, coronavirus came recently, you don't have any influence. Some people thought, I will stop this coronavirus tomorrow. No, sir, it's not possible. It's beyond your influence. Right? Other people's behavior. I cannot change other people's behavior. I have to adjust with others' behavior. I can change my behavior, but I cannot change others' behavior because it's beyond my control. Political issues. Oh, this country is fighting. Yes, we should be concerned, but what can I do? I cannot do anything about that. So what is in my influence? Okay, I can spread peace, the message of peace to whoever is in my influence. That's what I can do. Yes, concern is good, but I cannot do anything about it. So better work in the circle of influence. And the economy is beyond my control. So we should work on the circle of influence, which is in my control. Then we can become good managers and we can expand our field of management. Right? So reactive approach is outside in. See how they talk easy. You can, by the statements they make, you can understand whether a person is self-managed or not self-managed. So reactive people who are not managed nicely, they say, if only I had a boss who wasn't such a dictator, I would have performed nicely. ... means you can add anything. Okay. If I could just have more time for myself, then I would have earned more money. Something like that you can add. So they are blaming. They're blaming on time. They're blaming on their authority. And here you see, if I had more cooperative team members, we could have got the first prize, something like that. So he is blaming on his team. So in this, you will see in these statements, he is not taking responsibility. So reactive people don't take responsibility, they blame others. When failure comes, they blame others. But proactive people, they take responsibility of their life. You see their statement, I can be more diligent and creative to meet with the needs of my boss. I think something is lacking in myself. So let me improve myself so that I can meet the expectations of the boss. I can be more planned in spending my time. See the opposites of the statements above are given here. I can be more patient and respectful to my team members to get their cooperation. Right? Instead of blaming the team members, let me behave in such a way that I can get the cooperation of the team members. So this is proactive behavior. Right? So he works on himself. He works on the circle of influence. He works on himself rather than blaming others. So here are some statements, about 6 statements. So choose the best option that is proactive, not reactive out of the 3. Okay, so there are 3 statements given here. 2 are reactive and 1 is proactive. So you have to tell which is the right one. So there is nothing I can do. This is one statement. So can you please look for a proactive statement in connection to this? There is nothing I can do. Maybe you can unmute and speak.
Proactive is the C one, the first.
C here, C?
Yes.
C or A?
C, A also is there. Let's look at the alternatives.
That's right. Let's look at the alternatives. That's right. Let's see, sometimes you come to some situation where like checkmate situation. Nothing I can do. I cannot move anywhere. So like Corona, when it came, people are thinking, oh, lockdown, we cannot move anywhere. But intelligent people, because there is no work, they were stuck up at home. But intelligent people, they start thinking, what can I do now? So let's learn cooking. Some people learned cooking. Some people did exercise, yoga. They developed some other skills, which they never got a chance to do. So let's look at alternatives. That is a proactive statement. I can say that I have tried enough. He's again trying to justify himself here. I can do provided I am assured that he won't interfere with me. He's putting a condition here. So the best statement is the first one. Correct. So like this, can you think of others also? We can give chance to others. So one statement can be answered by different people. That's just the way I am. Instead of this statement, what proactive statement I can make? That's just the way I am. Okay, Asim Pathak is telling option B. That's right. I can choose a different approach. That's right. Yeah. Sorry, the underlines are coming little. They're not oriented properly. But the second option is correct. Now, he makes me so sad, so mad. Like there are some people in your life who come near you, then you become mad. Why did he come here? So how can you respond proactively? Okay, so Geeta Ramani, she's telling option A, I control my feelings. Correct, that's right. I control my feelings. Now, fourth one, they won't allow that. I want to do something, but they will not allow that to do. So instead of making this statement, what can I answer? Okay, getting some responses here. Okay, Pavani Jaiswal is telling C. Okay, I can make an effective presentation. Like, for example, students are making some presentation or a project, and one may be doubtful whether teacher will approve it or not. And what you should do, instead of blaming others or the situation, you say, let's make an effective presentation that the teacher should get convinced that this is right, isn't it? So that's the spirit. So I can create an effective presentation, correct? I can't explain to them. What is the proactive statement for this? Okay, Pavani Jaiswal is telling, many are telling B, correct, B. It is not because I prefer to try another route. Yeah. So practice. And last one, I must do this work even if sky falls to ground.
Answer C, sir.
See, I prefer to do this for my own future good, though it's a bit taxing my time and energy. Correct. Wonderful. All of you gave correct answers. So you could appreciate this exercise, this activity. So where you learned what is reactive behavior and what is proactive behavior. And those who are self-managed people, they think and then respond. So that is proactive behavior. So we should become proactive leaders, not reactive personalities. Now let's go to Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says self-management. He says how you should speak. One example I'm giving here. Krishna speaks about how to deal with superiors, authorities, how to talk. So here you are telling about how to talk. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayantapa uchyate. Krishna says that you should speak in a way which is anudvega karam. Don't agitate others by your speech. If your speech is agitating, then don't speak. Krishna says. Satyam, speak only truth. Priyam, speak only which is what is called Priyam. Priyam is pleasing to others. So it should be truth, it should be pleasing, and it should be beneficial. Hitam. Okay, hitam. हितकारी होना चाहिए दूसरों के लिए. Swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva. Swadhyaya means you should have thoughtfully processed what you're going to speak, then you speak it. And it should be based on Shastra. It should be based on the truth. It's Swadhyaya. So after these 5 criteria, you can speak. When you want to speak, that speech should go through these 5 filters. It should be non-hesitating, it should be truth, it should be pleasing, it should be beneficial, and it should be based on Shastra. Then you can speak. Vangmayam tapauchyate. Otherwise, better shut your mouth, because it will either disturb others or it's not beneficial to others. Isn't it? So there's one formula Krishna is telling. You see here, there are 2 bosses here. One boss is so angry, he is breaking his pencil. Why did you do this? He's shouting. And another person is so gentle, he's appreciating, and even the subordinate is feeling so encouraged and appreciated, isn't it? Now, self-control to self-management. To learn restraint in all these situations is called self-control. So this is the 4th point we're discussing here. So how to self-control? How self-control helps to do self-management? Here you see singers, they avoid ice cream. You see Lata Mangeshkar, who was one of the famous singers, very careful in eating ice cream, because if you eat ice cream, the throat will go flat. No voice will come out. So that's why they're very careful not to eat ice cream before performances. And even in general also, because they're doing practice, riyaz every day, they avoid eating ice cream. Typhoid patient avoids oily food. Yes, self-control, very important. And once there was one family. In family, there are two children, both brothers. So one of the brother got a typhoid. Younger brother had got typhoid. So mother, she told the elder brother, see, I'm going outside to the market to buy some vegetables. You be in home and take care of your brother. Okay. But don't give him oily food. It's very harmful. And then once mother went home, the younger brother was sick. And since 1 week he was eating only boiled vegetables and boiled rice and salt and like that because of typhoid. And he said, now mother is not home. Please give me some puri. I want to eat puri. But elder brother said, no, it's not good. No, I want puri. Then he started crying. Then this elder brother went and brought some puri from kitchen and gave to the younger brother, and younger brother ate. And after eating the oily food, his fever started increasing. And when mother comes back home, she sees that hey, fever has gone up. What happened? Then elder brother said, actually, he wanted puri and he started crying. Sort of compassion, I gave some puris to him and he ate, and now its fever is increasing. You fool, why did you do this? This is not the time for enjoyment. Once he becomes healthy, then he can eat. He can eat anything and digest it. But now he should not eat. He should control himself. Right? So self-control is important for long-term success. A pilot avoids drinking alcohol before driving because it can lead to accidents. So no happiness without self-restraint. So self-restraint is very vital. So there is one experiment was conducted. So that's called marshmallow test. So this marshmallow test, okay. So this marshmallow test, I had a video, but I don't have time to show that video. There were some young children who were brought together and they were tested for their self-control. So they were made to sit in separate rooms. So they were their table, chair, they were sitting on chair. Young children, no, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, like that. And in front of them, in a plate, a marshmallow. In America, there's a sweet. It is a kind of sweet. It was kept in front of them. And then, and video camera was there in the room. So he was sitting and the camera was watching. And then they were told, you wait here, I'll come back. And by the time I come back, if you have not eaten this marshmallow, I'll give another one. Means you have to wait for the time till the person comes back and you should not eat. If you don't eat, you'll get another one. So they went to different children were sitting in different rooms and some were watching and some finally ate. Some were licking it, some were eating half. But very few children could restrain themselves from eating. And they made a survey of several thousand students like this. And they noted who had self-control, who had no self-control. And those children who had showed self-control in the childhood, they went on to become very successful leaders, empowered personalities in the future. And those who lacked self-control, they ended up in bad habits. So self-control is very vital for long-term success. So that's what this experiment shows. I can share this article also. It's called Marshmallow Experiment. There's a PDF file which I can show here. So delaying gratification, marshmallow test. When willpower fails, exposure to a hot stimulus essentially overrides the system to impulsive actions. Yes, I'll share this article so you can read this, by which you can understand more about this research done in America. Now here you see a simple idea for self-control. Sharu Rangekar, a famous management consultant, says anyone who can shake his head from left to right can reduce his weight. It's a puzzle. Can anybody say how by shaking head left to right can reduce weight? Anyone would like to unmute and speak? How shaking head from left to right can reduce the weight? What does it mean? Okay, Asim is saying in the chat box, saying no, yes. When some temptation comes, a nice plate of thali of whatever eatables comes, we say just no. Then you can reduce the weight. It's simple self-control formula. So otherwise, uncontrolled senses pull us in different directions. The eyes, the nose want to smell something. Eyes want to see something beautiful. And the skin wants to touch something soft. Like this, all the senses are pulling us in different directions. We have to control these 5 senses. And in Upadeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami, he says that there are 6 things you should control to become a leader. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, udaro pasta vegam, etan yoganyu visheheta dhira, sarvam apimam prithvim sashishyat. He says that only can control these 6 vegas, urges, he can become a guru. Or he can be fit to lead a group of people. What are those urges? Urge to speak. Don't speak harshly. Don't speak irrelevant things. Speak only which is true, which already spoke, the 5 filters from Bhagavad Gita, that has to be followed. The urge to speak should be controlled. Mind's demands. See, Chanakya Pandit says that no, mind demands many things, but you should be satisfied with 3 things. Be satisfied with your wife, food, and wealth. Be satisfied, but don't be satisfied with 3 things. Swadhyaya tapadana. Don't be satisfied with learning, because learning is unlimited thing. Keep on learning. And tapa, doing austerities, like getting up early in the morning, sleeping early in the night, doing some service, that is tapa. And dana, giving charity. Don't think about how much you are giving, keep giving. Dana, don't be satisfied with dana. So there's mind's demands. Anger, control your anger. Right? Don't react. Act proactively. Control your anger in a way that it doesn't harm others. Urge of the tongue. Urge of the tongue means eating many tasty items. That's called urge of the tongue. And because of that, mind also gets disturbed. Urge of the belly. See, if some nice item comes in the plate, you eat too much. And belly becomes big, fat. And the belly puts pressure on the genitals. And that leads to sex desire. So these 6 things should be controlled. Rupa Goswami says. Especially tongue, belly, and genitals. So these 3 things should be controlled. Then he can become a guru. Then he can accept disciples. That's what Rupa Goswami says in Upadeshamrita. You see here 3 monkeys. So they are controlling their urges. Don't see bad, don't hear bad, and then don't speak bad. So we should follow these 3 monkeys. So in the last portion, we are going to discuss today some practical solutions. Right? So we can become self-managed people by changing our attitude, changing our behavior, and changing our thinking. Now, how to change our attitude? Very simple thing. One thing, to take responsibility. Whatever you are doing, do it responsibly. Then your attitude can be changed. For example, you are a student. Your duty is to study. You do it with responsibility. Take responsibility of your life. Don't think that, okay, I'll be depending on others. No, try to take responsibility of the studies of your own life. Then you'll be, your attitude can be changed. Otherwise, there'll be casual attitude towards life. Chalta hai, pass ho, fail ho, chalta hai. Or like casual attitude will come towards life. So own the responsibility. Even teachers should take responsibility. Yes, this is my duty to teach, right? And I'll try my best to teach to others. I'll try my best to manage. So in this way, taking responsibility of our own actions. I am responsible for the habits I picked up. I will not blame others. I will not blame situations. That is accepting responsibility. Then how to change your thinking? Okay, by positive attitude. What is a positive attitude? I will never waste my time gossiping with colleagues for hours. A negative attitude, I'll be sucked into gossiping and I will never complete my assignment. So you have to change your attitude. And you have to also think. What can I do to diffuse this? How did I get into this habit? This habit is nectar in the beginning, but poison at the end. I will replace it with good company. Now I will give up bad company. So like this, keep thinking. So by this we can modify our thinking. And how to change behavior? 3 points. Discrimination to know innate versus acquired habits. Actually, what is innate habit? Like, see, in the last session, in the previous session, I told about we are soul. Soul has good qualities, but now it is covered by the material body, mind and physical body. Because of the contaminations in the mind, we behave wrongly. Right? So like iron has certain property, but when it becomes rusted, it loses its property because it has acquired some another property. But when you remove the rust, again the original property of the iron comes back. Similarly, Atma, soul, is pure, but now it has acquired some wrong qualities. We have to remove those wrong qualities. So the innate quality of the soul and the acquired quality of the soul. So innate qualities have to be developed and acquired qualities have to be removed. So how to change your behavior? By discriminating to know what is innate quality and what is acquired habits. Innate qualities of soul are like compassion, humility, service attitude. These are the innate qualities. And acquired habits, greed, lust, envy, they're all acquired habits. So discrimination is first point, then determination. Willpower to say no to acquired habits. For example, somebody is addicted to smoking. You should develop the determination. No, I'll not do it henceforth. So then we should also have discipline. So by practice, we'll get this willpower to be disciplined. You know, like many times we make a vow, I want to get up in the morning, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, but we fail. Why? Because we fail to develop that willpower. How will you get the willpower? Do it again and again and again. Never give up. Develop it like a muscle. When you go to a gym, you start exercising. It pains, but you don't give up. Keep doing, then you develop your muscles. Similarly, willpower also can be developed by practice. When I get up every day 4 o'clock, it has been a habit since last 17 years. I've been doing it every day. So how is it possible? Before that I was not doing. I was getting about 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. But how I could develop this? Because practice, constant practice, a long time. And there are different stages in which your behavior will change. First stage is first stage is not visible. Actually, is unconscious incompetence. Then conscious incompetence. Then conscious competence. And then unconscious competence. In these 4 stages, your willpower will develop. For example, cycling, or for example, driving, you say. When you're driving, it's very difficult. No, where is clutch? Where is brake? It's so difficult, right? But later on, you'll become more expert. Then you will know, okay, clutch is here, brake is here, and I can drive properly. And then you become further expert. You can watch here and there. You can talk to a person. You can attend calls and still drive. How? Because that is the last stage where you easily develop good habits and you do the right thing, which is unconscious competence. Unconscious competence means you're so expert in driving that you're not even aware that you're driving, but still the driving is happening. Similarly, your habits also, wrong habits will go away and good habits will come by practice. So this I already discussed before. So we have to have a balance between these 4: physical, intellectual, social, and spiritual qualities. So physical, for some tips for physical thing, eat sattvic food, milk, seasonal fruits, sprouts, especially moon. This is a long topic, but I will not discuss much on this. Food and health, it's itself a one topic in itself. Maybe sometime later we will discuss this. But I'm just mentioning that eat sattvic food and no junk food. Don't eat like this person, eating like a hog. Don't overeat. Fill the food, fill stomach with 50% food, 25% water, 25% air, so that the food get mixed properly. And exercise. Daily do some exercise, 10 minutes or 20 minutes, so that your toxins in the body are gone. So one should exercise in such a way that sweat comes. Through the sweat, the toxins are removed. And sleep 6 to 7 hours in the night, not in the daytime. Because night sleep is best to rest the body. The sleep between 9 to 12 p.m. is considered to be 6 hours of sleep, 6 hours of rest. 3 hours of sleep is equal to 6 hours of rest. And then 12 to 3 a.m., this 3 hours is equal to 3 hours of rest. And morning 3 to 6, if you sleep, it's equal to 1.5 hours of rest. So, and after 6 o'clock, you may be sleeping, but body is not rested. So I have an article on this. At what time in the night, which organ is getting detoxified? Liver, the pancreas, and the lungs, and even the intestines, the rectum. What time of the night they are releasing the toxins? At that time, if you are resting, that organ will get rested. Otherwise, the organ will be under stress, and then you will get diseases. So I'll share an article on this to Rekha Madam. She can forward to all of you also later. Okay. So relaxation, we should relax. The relaxation doesn't mean watching movie, because movies will disturb us more. So relaxation means, okay, do some meditation or do some chanting like that. Give up unhealthy lifestyle of drinking, smoking, or especially these four things cause stress. Like eating meat, fish, and eggs, they cause stress because we are causing stress to the animals. That stress will come to us also. Intoxication like drinking alcohol, drugs, tobacco, gambling like horse race, casino, lotteries, illicit sex like extramarital sex, obscene films, or vulgar talks. So these are all increasing stress in our body. So we should give these up. Then we should increase Sattuguna by reading wisdom literature like Gita, the Bible, the Quran. So, and even many other books of the religions which can be read. Read good books, watch good movies, documentaries, and listen to nice soothing music like Hare Krishna music, which we do in ISKCON temples, and have good friends. And especially the most important thing is, if you try to develop your soul, then automatically other aspects of your body, your life also will get developed. So to develop the soul, we need to do something called as meditation. And all the processes, all the paths, spiritual paths recommend this meditation. And what is meditation? Meditation means to fix our mind on the Supreme, to fix our mind on God. Because God is the source of all positive energy. And when we connect ourselves to God, we receive that positive energy. And the best way, it is said in this modern age, the best way to receive that positive energy from God is by chanting mantras, by chanting the names of God. Especially in ISKCON, we chant this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So just by doing this for a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day, you will find a tremendous difference in your consciousness. The stress is removed, the mind becomes more peaceful, and your efficiency levels increase. Okay, so that's the mantra meditation. Benefits are there. Man means mind, tra means deliver. That which delivers mind of all the anxieties is called mantra. And it brings your mind to a alpha zone. This yellow zone you see. So above that there is active zone, hyperactive zone. And below that there is sleepy zone. So the chanting brings you to a very relaxed, alert zone where you can improve your efficiency. You can perform very nicely. So many people have chanted this mantra and got a lot of benefit of this chanting, like Alfred Ford, C.N.R.G., Sheikh Mahfad, and many others have chanted and got the benefit of this Hare Krishna mantra. I've got many other things to share, but today I kept it brief to introduce you to the topic of self-management. So thank you very much. So in essence, today we discussed a couple of things, is like what is self-management. Okay, self-management, despite whatever may be the external situation, focusing on personal and professional growth, that's called self-management. Okay. So this is what self-management. Self-management is the competence to shape one's personal and professional development, independent of external influences. So in this regard, we learned about proactive and reactive responses. And we also discussed some case studies of proactive and reactive responses, and many of give the right answers. And also we discussed something about mind control or self-control from Bhagavad Gita and Sri Rupa Goswami, where he says that we should control the 6 urges. So self-management begins by self-control. And then when you manage yourself, then you can easily manage your family, your company, or your the whole country, or the whole world. Because the influence begins, and there's another thing, circle of influence and circle of concern. So we should focus on the circle of influence and expand our circle of influence. So these are some of the points which we discussed today. So now if there are any queries or questions, we will be happy to take.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. If any question you have, I think you can either unmute yourself or put it up on the chat box. To start with, maybe one of you can unmute and ask the question. Meanwhile, others who have some queries can put up on the chat box. Here we have one question from Gitika. Gitika wants to understand, Prabhuji, how to know which is the innate behavior and which is the acquired one.
Right. Very nice question. What is the innate qualities and what are acquired qualities? So just like I gave the example of iron and the rust. Iron has got certain property, but the rust is acquired property because of the environment around. Right? Sometimes in kitchen you use some metal items and over a period of time they get rusted. Rust is not the actual quality of the iron. Similarly, the diamond also, if it is in the ore, it may get covered with dust. So the dust is acquired quality, but the diamond's actual quality is it is shining. We just have to clean and polish it, then we'll get the quality of real diamond. So similarly, the coal, when you burn the coal becomes hot and it appears red. But over a period of time, ash covers it. And then you cannot understand the real quality of the coal. So what you have to blow air. Is to blow the air. In villages, we used to cook in wooden stoves. So when you blow the air, again the fire comes up and it appears red. Similarly, the soul has got its actual real qualities. Soul's quality is Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means eternity, Chit means full of knowledge, and Ananda means full of bliss, full of happiness. So soul's quality is Satchidananda, but now it has got covered with acquired qualities like pain, suffering, anxiety, stress, depression. These are not our actual qualities. Our real quality is to be happy, full of knowledge, and we are eternal. We don't die. So these are the qualities of the soul. So these are the innate qualities. And of course, there are many qualities of the soul, like soul is pure. Just like rainwater is pure. But when it touches the ground, it becomes muddy. So that muddiness is acquired quality. And the real quality of the original water drop is it's clean, pure, transparent. Similarly, soul also has got purity, but when it comes in touch with material world, it becomes impure. It acquires certain foreign qualities. So the soul's real quality is Satchidananda, and it has acquired many other unwanted qualities now. So how to clean it up? Like you take the muddy water and filter it. And by filtering, you will again get clean water. Similarly, you have to filter the soul through the process of meditation. So that's why chanting is important. It cleans up all the dirt or dust from our heart.
Thank you. Such a easy way of meditation, and so nicely we can purify ourselves. And the example that you gave of the drop of water, I think it was wonderful. People like us could understand that very well. Prabhuji, here one more question has been asked by Asim Tara, and he wants to understand how can a person focus on the goal? How can we focus on our goal?
Yeah, so goal setting is very important. Once you set the goal, you have to be focused on the goal. So to remain focused on the path, for example, let's understand what is distracting you from the goal. Isn't it? So you have set a goal, but if you're not following the goal and you're going somewhere else, means something is distracting. So you have to understand what is the distraction and try to avoid those distractions. So one person was supposed to go to the bank to withdraw some 5 lakh rupees. So he went and withdrew the cash, and he came back and is walking on the road. 5 lakh is there, and he has to take it safely to the destination. That's his goal, make it reach the boss. And there were some thieves who knew that he has got 5 lakh in his suitcase. So when he was walking on the street, the thieves purposely put some 500 rupees note. And the person felt, hey, 500 rupees note lying down here. So he became a little inattentive. So he bent down to pick up the note. And when he bent down, when his grip on the suitcase was not so strong, thieves came, snatched it, and went away. Right? So just for rupees 500, he lost 5 lakh rupees because he got distracted with that. Same thing happens in our life also. We set a goal, but some petty distractions will come, like watching a movie or a new gadget is coming. We get obsessed with that gadget. I want that, and we stop focus on our studies. So these are small distractions, and we should be in the right company to keep the focus. Okay, right association is required to keep the focus. Like for example, those who are studying IAS, they need to be focused. So what they do? They go to the place where other people are there who are preparing for IAS, UPSC exams. Only then they'll get focus. Hardly few people prepare at home because there are so many distractions. I can sleep, I can eat, I can watch TV, and so many distractions are there. So that is not going to make us reach the goal, isn't it? So we have to be in the right association to reach the goal. Similarly, for spiritual life, those who practice spiritual life, they also need association. So that's why we have Sangha. ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, it's a society. Why it's called a society? Because people who are wanting to know seriously about spiritual life, who am I, what is the goal of life, how to become happy, who is God, what is the purpose of this creation. So who have these questions, who want to learn more about this, they come to this society. And they understand, goal of life is to understand, get an answer to these questions and to reach God. But there are many distractions, one get distracted. But if one is in association with good Sangha, then he can be fixed in the goal. Right? So 2 things in summary to your answer. One is try to identify the distractions and be in the right company. So then you can focus. Okay.
One second. Thank you, Prabhuji. That was wonderfully said. And I think with the right association and self-control, we will be able to focus our goal. That's very important. And the next question we have it's from Joyce, and Joyce wants to know the components of mind management. What are the components of mind management?
Yeah, so mind management, I think last week, last session, we had discussed more on this about how to manage the mind, managing the raging mind. So I think Mr. Joyce can get a good idea if you can go through that talk, which we gave last time. But in brief, to answer, first we have to find out why the mind is distracted. Why is not mind become unmanaged? Because the mind is generally a storehouse of all the thoughts and past impressions. And those impressions, if they were good, then your mind will be easily managed. But if the impressions of the past, your upbringing, the friends, and even the past lives impressions, if they were negative, then the mind will be very disturbed. The mind will be very uncontrolled. So we have to understand the thoughts which are there in the mind, and we have to clean the mind from all those negative thoughts. There are 4 kinds of thoughts in the mind. positive thoughts, negative thoughts, waste thoughts, and routine thoughts. Positive thoughts are good. Routine thoughts are also required. Positive thought means like doing good to others, service, career, all these things are good thoughts. And routine thoughts, okay, today I have to go to college, today I have to go to office, so I have to do these tasks, these are required. But waste thoughts and negative thoughts, they have to be given up. Negative thoughts means greed, envy, anger, they have to be given up. And waste thoughts like daydreaming, keeping going on dreaming in the daytime, I'll do this, I'll do that, but not doing anything. So that's a waste thought. So the waste thoughts and negative thoughts should be removed, and only positive thoughts and routine thoughts should be kept. So how to remove that? Just like when you have a virus in the computer, you run antivirus. Similarly, we have to run antivirus in our mind. That's called meditation, mantra meditation. So by doing that, we can remove these negative thoughts and waste thoughts. And you have to understand how the mechanism of the mind works, which I have explained in the previous session. So maybe you can go through that session. We'll get more details about how to manage the mind. Okay, Mr. Joyce, if you have further thing, we can also ask.
You have given an elaborate answer to that. I think it's a very satisfied answer what you have given. And the whole presentation was with regard to how we can manage ourselves, the mind management. Those tactics, I think, definitely will help all of us. So the next question again is from Asim Tara, and he wants to understand how to overcome procrastination.
हिंदी में एक कहावत है, कल करे सो आज करे सो अब. उसके बाद क्या है नेक्स्ट लाइन?
पल में प्रलय होएगी, बहुरी करेगा कब.
So प्रलय कभी भी हो सकता है. So we have to understand that in the world there is uncertainty. If you don't do it today, you may not get chance to do it tomorrow. Right? So better do it today. So the procrastination is postponing things, and that mainly happens because of laziness. अरे कल है ना, कल टाइम है, कल करेंगे. That laziness makes us procrastinate things. So generally students complete the assignments at the last moment, and they study for the exam in the last day, the last week. So that's procrastination, but that will lead to more anxiety at the end. So better to be more organized, do things. So make a to-do list, things which are to be done today, things which are to be done in the week, things that are urgent, things that are not important. So all that has to be made, then it will be easy. There was one slide in a presentation which I skipped purposefully, because I thought that will take a lot of time to explain. Let's see here. See, there are some things which are urgent, some are not urgent. See, urgent, not urgent, important, not important. If you make a matrix of this, so urgent and important means you have to do it now, right? Suppose today you have to submit an article, you have to do it today, right? So that's urgent and important. Or for example, somebody gets a sudden heart attack, you have to immediately go to the hospital. There's no other way. So that's urgent and important. Then there's second quadrant, if you see, urgent, not urgent, but important. Decide, schedule a time to do it, like exercising, calling family and friends, researching articles, long-term business strategy. This is very important, but not urgent right now. But if you neglect this, what will happen? This quadrant will shift to this quadrant. It will become urgent and important. Like for example, if somebody is not doing exercise regularly, not taking care of his health, and he becomes fat, and then the doctor says, no more sweets, no more, you have to regulate your food. So then it becomes urgent that you have to start controlling your food habits and also do exercise, jogging 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, so all that. So these two are in green color. Okay, these are important things to be done. But you see down, not important and urgent, means that has to be delegated. Who can do it for you? It's not important. and not very urgent also, let somebody else do it, like scheduling interviews, right? So like I have some devotees who help me in scheduling some programs, or they help me in booking tickets. It's not important for me to do it. Somebody else also can do it. Approving comments, answering certain emails, sharing articles. Like, emails you can answer. Some emails can be answered later also. It's not so urgent that immediately you have to reply. And some things have to be deleted. Not urgent, not important. Watching television, checking social media, sorting through junk mail, right? So these things should be deleted. So below things you can delegate and delete, and this decide in this second quadrant, these things have to be scheduled properly and not to be procrastinated. Otherwise, it will become urgent and important. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Okay. I see another question here. Anchal Jain. What is the best method to measure the ability of self-management? So he's saying, what are the parameters by which you can measure ability of self-management? See, I had done an activity where 6 questions were asked, right? So you can measure with that. Is your response proactive or is your response reactive? If you are dealing proactively, then you are more self-managed. If you are dealing reactively, then you are not so self-managed. And also based upon the words which we speak, if we are speaking in a tone like, oh, if only I had access to these books, I would have scored more marks. So this is blaming somebody. No, so I should have taken this book in time so that I can study nicely. So taking a responsibility. So we should take responsibility and speak responsibly. So that is another check which you can do for yourself. I just took one more question, Mataji. Anchal Jain had asked question.
Prabhuji, you have taken the question from Anchal Jain?
Yes, I took it.
Okay. So the next question is from Sarah. She wants to understand how to improve the communication skills.
Yeah, communication skills. Actually, there are some training sessions also for.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So there are some training sessions for communication skills where we can undergo those training sessions and we can learn more about communication. Actually, people hardly communicate now because of social media. Only hi, bye, and all shortcut communications are happening. People don't even know how to write a letter, how to communicate their thoughts with others. So we have to get trained in this also. So previously in my home, parents used to teach me how to write a letter, how to address it, and how to call others, how to talk to others, how to use the designations and everything. They used to teach us. Communication is a vital art. Okay, so, and most of the problems, relationship problems, happen because of poor communication. I told something with some intention, but the other person understood it in some other way. And in this way, so many problems start because of miscommunication. So one thing is listen to them attentively. When you're talking to somebody, be there, listen to them. And face the person. Don't look here and there and talk to them. Face the person. In Zoom, we cannot do this. Effective communications happens in person. And, Zoom is good to have lectures and have some interactions, but physical is better. And also, in communication, one should also be empathetic to understand why the other person is speaking like this and what is his needs, interests, concerns, and expectations. Right. So once you understand that, then you can effectively understand his position, and then you can effectively give some solutions to that also. And also sometimes you have a problem and you want to communicate. Now, how to express yourself properly to get a solution? That also is an art. So you have to learn. So for that, you should find a person, a trustworthy person with whom you can express yourself confidently So such people are called as ombudsman. Ombudsman means they keep confidential things. They keep things confidential and they don't reveal it to others unnecessarily. So similarly, we also have to become, you also have to become a trustworthy person so that others come and become good friends of you. Right? So we have to keep confidence when some confidential things are communicated. So listening, empathy, keeping confidence, and also communicating clearly with needs, interests, expectations. So these are some thoughts I can share with you right now, but it's a big topic in itself.
That's true. Prabhuji. I think we can have one more session on that itself, because these traits are very important.
I have undergone a whole course on communication and mediation. So that's a different field in it, the important field.
Fine, Prabhuji, we can have one session on that. I think that will be very nice. Our students will definitely like it. I think we have another one or two questions here. Ms. Apurva, she's asking, on what basis should one prioritize important thoughts?
You make a list of all the thoughts you have, all the tasks, all the and some things will fall into urgent and important, and some things will fall into urgent and not important. Important but not urgent. So you can prioritize the things which are important, urgent right now, but high priority. And some things can be done later also. So that's one basis on which you can prioritize, and then you number them: priority 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that, you number the priorities and then execute the task accordingly. Right? Generally, it is said first priority is health, because health is wealth, and if you have good health, you can attain all other success. Right? So, and also character. It is said if wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost, and if character is lost, everything is lost. So first priority we give to our principles, our value systems, and then our health, and then other things in life like money and other things. But unfortunately, what happens nowadays in modern world, people give high priority to wealth or money, and then low priority to character and health. So
yes, Prabhuji, I think the same. She has also asked, sir, if we all want, if all are urgent priorities, does one listen to the mind or heart? So one should listen to the heart or mind?
both are same in one sense. Mind, what do you say? Heart is actually the mind only, and of course there is an inner heart which is called super soul. The super soul's direction, Lord's direction, the God-given direction. So that is most the best decision which you can take is to listen to God's voice within. So here you're asking that what if all are urgent priorities? Does one listen to the mind or heart? In that situation, you need some consultation with somebody who's experienced and who knows you nicely. So you can ask him, these are the things, and everything seems urgent. Can you help? So that is counseling. So you have to ask your counselor. You have to have some mentors in life with whom you can review. It can be your mother, father, or it can be some friend or even a teacher with whom you trust. So you go and you ask, then you get the solution. But some things we cannot decide on our own. In some places, we need consultation.
Thank you, Prabhuji. This is from Faizan Faisal, and he asked, Prabhuji, what can be possible mediators to influence self-management? Possible mediators to influence self-management. Did I read the question correctly, Faizan?
Maybe you can answer.
Yes. Would you
You're
like?
talking mediator or meditator?
That's what. Can you check with the question, Faizan?
It's mediator.
Mediator means a person who tries to solve others' problems or to resolve the conflict between two people. So mediation is required when two parties are in conflict, and the mediator hears both the parties and tries to come up with an optimum solution where both the parties are happy. And sometimes he doesn't even give a solution. He just puts them together in such a way that they themselves find the solution. So there's a very expert, the field itself is called mediation field. So there also the person who is mediator should be self-managed. He should not have any agenda. Okay, I'll make this mediation in such a way that I get the profit. Or like, you know, that story was there. There are, I think, a monkey and a cat. So there are two monkeys and there was some butter. I heard long back in my childhood. And they were thinking how to share this. And one cat came and he said, no, I will help you share this. So he put in two places and he was weighing. And then trying to, okay, I'll give you equal share. And he said, oh, this side is a little heavy, so I'll eat a little bit. And then that side became heavy. Then he ate a little bit from there. And finally he ate the whole thing and nothing, monkeys didn't get anything. Not like that. So he should not have any selfish attitude. He should be selfless and he should hear the concern. And with a very neutral way, he should try to handle the situation. So self-management is very vital for mediator also. Otherwise, he can create havoc between people. He can increase the conflicts.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I think almost all the questions have been taken. Here we have one more question from Disha. She asked, what is the best way to tailor self-management?
Yes. So the best way to tailor self-management is start with soul. And I told you 4 PQ, IQ, EQ, SQ. So the 4 things have to be balanced. You should have strike a balance between the 4. PQ, IQ, EQ, SQ. Start working on these things. Try to give some time for your physical body. Try to give some time for sharpening your mind every day by meditation. Intelligence by reading newer and newer books in your field of study. And also spiritual, spending some time reading holy books and chanting the names of the God. So start with these things. 10 minutes meditation every day is the best way to start with in the morning. 10 minutes meditation and some 15 minutes of reading from the holy books. That's the best way to start with.
One more question has come up, Prabhuji. How can I get access to mental health self-management?
Yeah. See, somebody else had also asked this question of how we can manage the mind. Right now, mental health is a big topic of discussion, especially after COVID. Many people got mentally disease. Yesterday itself, I got one news from one of the college saying that they're having a condolence meeting for a boy who committed suicide. So just yesterday. So why? Because again, mental health, mind is very disturbed. And most of the diseases, top diseases, are because of mental sickness. Very important. Of course, the medical field is trying its best to give some medications for this. But actually, the spiritual path is the best path because the Bhagavad Gita talks about mind a lot. He says, Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmanajitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartet atmaiva shatruvat. So he's using the word bandhu and atma. The mind can be your friend, a bandhu, or mind can become your enemy also. So you have to convert the mind into your friend. So the controlled mind is our friend and uncontrolled mind is our enemy. Right? So very important, as you mentioned here, mental health is very, very important. So you have to clean the mind of negative thoughts and waste thoughts, which I already said before. Like if your computer has got virus, you run the antivirus. Similarly, we also should run the antivirus every day. Because every day we are putting thoughts into our mind. We are seeing things, we are hearing certain things, we are watching certain things daily. So things are going. So we have to clean every day, just like we take bath every day. Right? So similarly, we have to clean our mind every day. Because if you don't take bath one day, it feels so uncomfortable. Right? So similarly, you have to clean our mind every day. So please do meditation every day, and surely the mental health will improve.
Prabhuji, there's one more question, a wonderful question, I feel, from Vishwa Prakash Koirala. He's from Nepal. And his question is how to find a mentor or a guru, and how to know if someone can guide us to the correct path.
Yeah, very important point. So, who is a guru? If you are talking in terms of spiritual guru, a spiritual guru is one who can take us to God. That's his job, and he has no other purpose. So, it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shabde Paricha Nishnatam Brahmane Pusham Ashraya. So, he is fixed up in realization of Atma and Paramatma, and he can give that knowledge to others. So, that is a guru. And guru is not behind money. If some guru is behind money, then he is not a genuine guru, because a guru is self-satisfied. He doesn't need those things. And in case somebody gives him money, he leaves it in Lord's service. He doesn't keep it himself. Like ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America at the age of 70 in 1965, he had nothing, just 40 rupees in his pocket. And he went generally to spread this message of Bhagavad Gita in the Western world. So he had nothing, but eventually he got some interested people. Even Americans started understanding Bhagavad Gita because it's so convincing. They said, you are not this body, you are Atma, the mind and the spiritual world, the material world. It was so convincing for them. They immediately accepted and they started chanting. And later on, at that time, some people from India had also gone to America and they were teaching yoga, close your nose, breathe like this, close the other nose, breathe like this, stand upside down. And they're not teaching anything about God. They're just teaching yoga to make your body healthy. That's all. But the real purpose of yoga is not healthy body. The real purpose of yoga is to connect ourselves with the Supreme Lord. That's the real purpose of yoga. So Srila Prabhupada said, these people are cheating. In the name of yoga, they're just teaching some physical exercise. Right? So Guru is not the one who gives you some physical advice for physical health. Guru is not the person who gives you some financial advice. No. A real genuine guru is one who selflessly guides a disciple closer to God, closer to Krishna. So that is the purpose of the guru. And you pray and you sincerely desire, and surely God will send you a guru in your life.
Yes.
That's how it works. And God will send a guru into your life.
Yes. What we
How to know
desire.
if someone can guide us to the correct path? Yes. If you are sincere, you will be guided to the right person. If you are not sincere, you will be guided to cheaters. And there are many cheaters in India. All over the world, cheaters are there. So a person who has ulterior motives, who is not sincere, he will be guided to insincere guru. But who is a sincere person, he will be directed to a genuine, bona fide guru.
Yes, Prabhuji. This is one more question from Darshan R. And he's asking how to come out of material desires in this Kali Yuga.
Kali Yuga is an age of Kalaha. Kalaha means quarrel. Quarrel and hypocrisy. Two things people do. When they come together, they quarrel. And when they are alone, they are hypocrites. So both side problem. अकेले रहेंगे तो hypocrite. Hypocrite क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? Hypocrites are cheaters. And when they come together, they do quarreling. So that is the nature of Kali Yuga. So how to come out of these problems in Kali Yuga? It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangar Parshadam Yagne Sankirtana Prayajantihi Sumerasa. In the age of Kali Yuga, people who can take to the process of chanting names of God. You may belong to any religion. You just chant the name of God whom you believe in, right? Like I chant the name of Krishna and Rama. By chanting the name of these personalities, we can overcome quarreling and hypocrisy. The heart becomes clean. So these are the material desires also slowly reduce. Cheto darpana marjanam bhumaha davagni nirvapanam. Slowly, the heart becomes cleansed of all the material desires. And somebody may ask, "Hey, material desires, no material ambitions, then how will I live?" Now, Krishna doesn't say that everybody should become sannyasi. He doesn't recommend that. But he says that whatever you are doing, do it for God. That's called karma yoga. Arjuna was a warrior, he was a king, and he used all his talents in service of God, in service of Krishna. So he used it for the service of society also. So that is right. So spirituality doesn't mean we should become free of all ambitions. No, you can be ambitious. At the same time, you can be spiritual also.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this insightful session on the art of self-management. Dhanushri?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can, a formal vote of thanks can be given to Prabhuji.
A special thanks to Rekha Sinha Mataji for arranging this wonderful sessions, and I was very inspired. So many wonderful questions came from the students.
Prabhuji, that is inspiring me to have few more sessions. Please make yourself free for my lovely students.
Surely we will do. That's my duty to share whatever I have learned, whatever I got benefited. Will surely like to share.
Thank you. Over to you, Dhanushri.
A very good afternoon, everyone. I am Dhanushri from first year BSc Interior Design is here to present the vote of thanks. On behalf of our college, I hereby extend the vote of thanks to Shri Suvarna Gaura Haridarji. It was a great honor and privilege to have had you with us today, sir. Thank you, G, for giving your precious time and to grace us with all the good information, giving us to the insights of the art of self-management. We got the opportunity to hear your thoughts and surely learned a lot today. The goal setting skills, time management, communication skills was truly necessary. The situations we come across every day where self-management is required, the saying of Chanakya, difference between proactive and reactive people, what are the circles of influence and concern, self-management in Bhagavad Gita was truly blissful to hear. The 6 urge for self-management and the mantra meditation. All of this information was truly required for us to improve ourselves. I would also love to extend my thanks to our director, Dr. Major Rekha Sinha ma'am, for organizing the session. And also, I would like to thank our teachers and the supporting staff for making this session a success. Thank you for all the participants for taking part. And also, there will be a feedback form sent. Please fill your feedback form. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Please share the feedback form so that the students can fill the details.
And I would also like to see the feedback forms once.
Yes.
It will help us to improve the service better. And I'll share the PPT, PowerPoint presentation, so it can be shared to the students. Thank you.
Prabhuji, chat box also, many of them, they have shown the gratitude. So that I think sincerely they have listened to the whole sessions. Prabhuji, thank you so much. Thank you. Please share the feedback form. Feedback form, please. The student just wait for another 1 or 2 minutes. Those who are present, all of you can fill this form.